welcome everybody. Thank you. There are a lot of people involved in putting this together. So a huge thank you to everyone who's made it tonight.
Tech is really at the core of what we believe in Law Squared, and certainly looking forward, like I said, to the discussion that we can have tonight and helping do a bit of a deep dive into digitization, technology, and certainly the world of AI.
It's fantastic, and I'm really excited to share some of my stories, hear some of your stories, and talk about that interface between companies growing and communities working alongside them.
Business ethics is not philanthropy. A lot of people think that ethics is all about going out and creating a data set to solve world hunger or solve problems in third world countries. It's not. Ethics for data must be extension of your corporate ethics code of conduct. It's not something that you have some data scientist boffins do off on the side, which is completely disconnected from your corporate governance. And it should be something you get off the internet, because it must be very, very closely tied to what does your organisation value. Bias can exist in data, and it can also exist in the data that you exist by being not in the data. And for a few years ago, people would say, the data is pure. Whatever the data says that is the real world. Well, I got news for you. Data is incredibly racist. Incredibly racist. It's a reflection of society, and there's skews in areas. There's people who are in lower socioeconomic environments. There's biases in where people live, how much money they have. And so this is where, when you get into your principles around data ethics, it's like, how are we actually going to filter out those biases? Do we want to offer products and services and making decisions that are factoring, are bias neutral? And you really need to look at your corporate code of conduct to do that. So a great example of how a data ethics principle will be, we will test all data models on a bias neutral data set. And so what does that mean? Well, you better get yourself a bias neutral data set.
People say, what can they do to get ready in Australia? Look at the EU and look at what is happening and start to get ready. Because I think if you are holding yourself to a higher standard than what you need to be, when the changes come, you will be ready, but also your customers have more faith in you. And so your reputation starts to benefit from it. So there are benefits outside just, legal compliance. Holding ourselves to that higher standard, I think that's the way forward.
Before building a tool, you should do a human rights analysis on how this tool will impact human rights.